Good afternoon, everybody, from the 2012 Little League World Series here in South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. From the Williamsport Sun-Gazette, I'm Mitch Rupert, standing alongside the Dr. Chris Masse, who's covering the U.S. side of this tournament all week. And Doc, we got pretty much only one thing to talk about. After yesterday, we saw a fun game with Uganda and Oregon, but the game that really mattered, the game between California and Connecticut, in an elimination game. And Quinton Gago, maybe the best pitching performance for California because of the circumstances. How good was his performance yesterday for Petaluma, California?
First off, I'm not going to repeat the same question you asked me yesterday. The Will Lucas debacle. I apologize for that.
I need to put that small video I did up on the internet. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I was out to lunch there. But back on subject, Gago, not even their coaches expected that. Eric Smith afterward, the manager, said we wanted to get 3 innings out of him, and we would have been happy with that. Turn the ball over to closer, Andrew White. So he exceeded all expectations, and he exceeded his own expectations. He said after the game, I'm a relief pitcher. Even in the regular season, he was a relief pitcher. So he was as surprised as anybody that he got to start. But man, he looked every bit the stat base last night. He was locked in. Got into a little trouble in the first inning with some control issues. Connecticut couldn't capitalize, and after that, he was lights out. You know, when you consider what was on the line and how few pitchers they had left, that was definitely the pitching performance of the series. So outside of Will Lucas throwing no-hitter.
You consider coaches are playing so many games with pitch counts, so a guy can come back tomorrow, or he can come back in 2 days. To get 5 1/3 out of Quinton Gago just had to be huge to save the rest of that staff.
Yeah, you know, and it keeps Andrew White available too, because he comes in. I know he threw less than 20 pitches, probably through the 15 range. So now they've got him available. The only guys who don't have available are Gago and Ace Bradley Smith. Gago is considered their number 4 or 5 guy. That's a pretty deep pitching staff because, like I said, he definitely looked like an ace last night.
You look at it, these California teams that come in, we talked at the beginning of this tournament, this may be not quite as good a California team as Huntington Beach last year or some of the other California teams that we've seen come in, but these California teams always seem to get a big hit. Last night it was Hance Smith with a 3-run home run. First off, what a great first name, Hance. I just absolutely love that. But he comes up with the big 3-run homer. How big was that for the offense?
Oh, it's huge. That changes everything. It's a 1-0 game at that point. And a 6-inning game with 12-year-olds. That's a huge advantage. It takes a lot of pressure off of Gago specifically. And even from a pitching standpoint, Trevor Thome calling pitches for California makes his job easier. He doesn't have to mess around with guys as much. He can go right after him. And in a pitch count era, that's huge. And just psychologically, that's so big. You can go out there in the 5th, 6th inning with that 4-run lead instead of a 1-run inning. And if I give up a hit and let a guy on base, 2 guys on base, we still got that cushion. So that was a big time shot.
We talked yesterday about how both teams, Connecticut and California, were going to be able to ride the wave of emotion. Danny Marzo with the walk-off homer for California. Will Lucas threw the no-hitter, but Connecticut just seemed to run out of gas. Was it just never able to get solid footing? And do you blame Quinton Gago for that, for just throwing a great game?
Yeah, I think it's more about Gago than anything. I think Connecticut's ready to play. They're an outstanding team. But, considering the circumstances, I think he pitched the game in his life. Connecticut, Matt Cabell pitched a good game against a really good hitting team. Maybe the best hitting team on the American side. Only gave up 1 earned run. He should have been out of the inning. Hance Smith hit the 3-run home. It should have been a 1-2-3 inning. They had a couple of defensive miscues that extended that inning and gave Smith that chance. So, and they had a couple of chances, like I said, early in the game. Some great defense from California. And combined with Gago's pitching, ended those threats. So it was more about what California did right than what Connecticut did wrong.
Petaluma, California is going to get a day off now before they face the loser of tonight's game between Texas and Tennessee. How big is that to just kind of collect themselves a little bit, maybe take a deep breath before they face a really good team?
Yeah, I think it helps a little bit. I think there's 2 ways to look at it. It's good to relax a little bit, but the one advantage of playing every day is to get into that rhythm, whereas Texas and Tennessee haven't played since Sunday. So there's 2 ways to look at it, but at this point, when they've been playing everything, I think it's good for them to kind of recharge their batteries, get away from the day. Smith said last night he was going to give them the day off if they wanted to hit, fine. But I think at this point he was kind of looking forward to that day, and it gives them a chance to scout whoever wins tonight. And I think whoever loses tonight, they've got to come right back. And all of a sudden they're in elimination mode, so maybe California has a little bit of advantage going in.
We saw a Hawaii team a couple years ago that had to win 5 games in 5 days, I believe, just to get into the U.S. final or the World final?
World final.
World final.
I think they had 4 in 4 days just to get to the U.S. final.
Just to get to the U.S. final. Now, obviously, this isn't that difficult for California. It's not that kind of schedule. But to figure you have to beat Tennessee and Texas in the span just to get to the World final, is it too tough a task to ask for them to come back?
I think if they can win Thursday, then I think all bets are off. I think then they can bring Fred Smith back, their ace. So I don't think it's too tough for them to get to the World final. Winning it might be another story because now a lot of your pitching options are off the table at that point. But only at the Sun-Gazette, folks. That's 3 days in a row.
2 walkthroughs.
You got it.
But anyway, I think they have a shot to get to the final because like I said, I think they're the best hitting team on the American side, so they can take some pressure off the pitchers that way. They've got a shot. I like the way they're playing.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what you just said because I'm still laughing to myself. That's always a good sign, though. Yesterday we did national anthem. A good sign.
I'm able to multitask. I'm able to stay on track.
It's a true professional, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for us here from the Wednesday edition of the 2012 Little League World Series from the Williamsport Sun-Gazette. He's the Dr. Chris Masse. I'm Mitch Rupert. Check out all the stories, sungazette.com. Follow us on Twitter. I think a couple of us still have some pins. If you want to come up and get one, I'm out. I traded mine. Got an awesome MEA regional tournament pin here. So
gave mine to Uganda. So
yeah, he gave all his to Uganda. Good story.
I need some donations.
Suck up. So thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one.